What's up, guys? I wanted to make a video on GameStop and what's going on with the stock market and GME. It's 6:30 right now, and if you know me, you know I hate waking up early. And the fact that I am up early, as are probably hundreds of thousands of other people, just to look at the GameStop stock, shows that these are not normal situations. GameStop, as we know of it, is a company that sells video games, right? We grew up with it. Some people made fun of it because they would charge low prices when you would sell back their games. But like Blockbuster, a company that no longer exists and that is often compared to GameStop, we still have kind feelings for GameStop. We have a sentiment where we remember childhood, and gamers, if you look at just the subreddits and Twitter and even how gamers impacted the last election, gamers have power. Video gaming is a $180 billion industry, and it's thought to be going towards $500 billion in the next 10 years. The thing is this, a lot of hedge funds and a lot of big banks, they bet against GameStop. They did what you call buying a short. And when you go short on a company, you're betting against the company. You want the company to fail. And so if a company stock is $10 and I short it, what's really happening is I'm borrowing that $10 stock. I'm hoping it goes down to $5. Then I'm buying it back at $5 and I'm giving it back. So I just made $5. What these huge hedge funds did is they bet against GameStop from $20 down to $4. They made billions. And then they kept betting against GameStop over and over and over again in the hopes of getting it from $4 to $0. That was the maximum benefit that they could have. What happened was, in fact, when you short a stock and you borrow a stock, one of the crazy scenarios that exists in this country, but in some countries it's illegal, is you can only short as many stocks that exist. So if there's 70 million stocks of GameStop that are around in the world, you should theoretically only be able to buy 70 million shorts because you're borrowing each stock. The problem is that there is something like 40 million extra shorts that exist. This is a terrible situation for the huge banks. And the media and regular people are mad. No, I'm sorry, not the media and regular people. The media is mad at regular people for realizing, oh, this is an anomaly. This shouldn't really exist. And if we keep GameStop's stock at a certain height, say $10, $20, eventually the short positions are going to have to leave. Because when you short a company, you also have to pay premiums every day. So every day that stock is $15 and I borrowed it, I'm paying a premium on that extra $5. If the stock goes to $50, now I'm paying a premium on $45. If the stock goes to $150, you understand what I'm saying. And right now, as of this video, the stock was at $270. There are some major hedge funds that have lost billions and billions of dollars. According to Bloomberg News, the huge hedge funds that short companies, so the people that are betting against companies. And by the way, sometimes it's okay to bet against companies. I was watching some videos. The people that discovered the housing market crisis were people that short companies. The people that discovered that Enron was corrupt were people that short companies. But there is something to say about vulture capitalists, people that try to make a dollar by any means necessary, like pushing GME and GameStop stock from $4 to $0. That's 45,000 people that would have been out of work. Now, because of online forums, people are calling like Reddit traders, Twitter. This is just people talking to each other. I don't believe this is market manipulation. If you watch this video and you hear what I mentioned about, oh yeah, GameStop increased their revenue, their e-commerce revenue by 300%. And if you compare that revenue to other startups in e-commerce, then the entire valuation of GameStop would go from $3 billion, which is what it is today, to $40 billion. Here's another analogy that I've been using a lot. GameStop does $6 billion in revenue. DoorDash does something like $2 billion in revenue. So GameStop has 3 times the revenue of DoorDash. Yet DoorDash is worth $60 billion, while GameStop was worth around $5 billion. I mean, it might be up a lot more. Maybe it's closer to 10 now. But you see the difference. And DoorDash is a bullshit app where people can deliver food. They're competing with Uber Eats. A lot of people can make this app. And there's not many people that have restaurants and small businesses that love DoorDash because they're getting pillaged by the fees. Where GameStop, I like video games, right? Like people have this affinity for it. And you're starting to see people be like, hey, I'll bet on GameStop. I know of this company. Why is it just these sexy new startups are the ones that increase in valuation? Right now, what has happened has been a democratization of investment. Apps like Robinhood, which are aptly named, have allowed for regular people to just start investing, buying shares, buying options, playing, having access to information that was only allowed if you worked in the finance world just 10 years ago. And this democratization of information and ability to investment has led to situations like you see right now in the stock market. These are not, first of all, actually, huge institutions are also making a ton of money. BlackRock, which is like $1 trillion business, has 13% of GameStop. So it's not all just young people working at Wendy's that are investing in this stock. But it's these young people, these Robinhood investors that made it famous and they started a momentum. And so now, is it manipulation if I make a video and you go, hey, I like some of these points, and people start investing in it? Is it manipulation if somebody makes a post and goes, hey, actually GameStop just signed a partnership with Microsoft. And Microsoft, which has the Xbox, which even tried to buy Nintendo, I believe, has trying to been getting in deeper their hands in the video game market. By the way, Microsoft has never even had a retail or hasn't done that well in retail. If Microsoft wants to compete with Apple in the future in retail, why start their own thing when they could just get in with GameStop? And GameStop looks to be pivoting into the microcomputer space because if you build your own computer, as a gamer, you have a leg up against people that are just buying their computers regularly because your computer's faster. So the opportunities for GameStop are actually pretty endless. But the way we look at GameStop, I've been relating to that movie, She's All That, from the past where Freddie Prinze Jr. said he could turn any ugly girl into a prom queen. This girl wasn't ugly, she was just wearing glasses and had a ponytail. And once he took those off, everyone was like, oh my God. And to me, that's how a lot of these people on the forum, myself included, are looking at GameStop. We're looking at it as though this is a company that has physical locations, name recognition, an increase of 300% in their e-commerce. Yes, they closed down some stores, but the stores that they kept open all increased in revenue during a pandemic. And they just added 3 people to their board of directors, one of them, Ryan Cohen, who built Chewy into a $1 billion business. I think what you're seeing right now is an example of Wall Street greed being taken advantage of by regular investors. And many of the media pundits and outlets, which are owned by companies like Bank of America and these huge hedge funds, are trying to cloud the message. Yeah, maybe some things need to change, but I don't see the difference between some no-name dude on Reddit writing, hey, have you heard about this partnership with Microsoft and what it could lead to in the future? Versus some hedge fund guy buying stock in Apple and then going on CNBC and talking about how great Apple is. These hedge funds have billions of dollars. They control the boardrooms. They control the government. They control the media. They hire the smartest of the smart people to create algorithms that can detect changes up to microseconds. And they're blaming regular people for using Twitter and Reddit to discuss stocks. It's nonsense. What's happening right now may be the greatest transfer of wealth from Wall Street to Main Street ever. This is the real version of what Occupy Wall Street should have been. I was at Occupy Wall Street. People used to call me a hippie. I was just against absurd income inequality. The rules were controlled by the uber wealthy, and they were only getting more and more wealthy. And when I was at Occupy Wall Street, I'd hear people being like, hey, stop buying Starbucks, go invest your money, right? This was like the boomer mentality, and they were right. And what happened? People made it easier to invest, and now they're investing. And they're saying, yo, not like that. Do not fall for these traps. The next couple of years of the market are going to be insane. And with banks not charging interest or giving you interest on your money and your money just sitting doing nothing, you're going to see more and more regular people putting their money into the bank, especially after what happened with GameStop. And so, these are not capital rioters, right? These are not people that are vigilantes. These are a few different types of people. One, some people that really just like GameStop and like the stock and thought, hey, this is a good value. Some people that saw the short squeeze and saw, oh, these banks leverage themselves these hedge funds leverage themselves way too much. They're not going to be able to pay this back. And once they start paying it back, once these huge hedge funds go, all right, we'll start giving you money for your shares back so we could close out our positions. It's like selling water in the desert. Oh, okay, now you want your shares back? All right. We're going to charge you $1,000 per share. Some people will call that greedy. But according to Gordon Gekko and Wall Street and everything we've learned watching TV and the media and being in this economic system, greed is good. But it's not good when it happens to the hedge funds. We should feel bad for the bankers that are going to lose their jobs after this, but not the 45,000 GME workers that they were betting against. Remember, they bet against GME from $20 to $5. They made billions already. They still wanted that extra bit of money. They wanted their pound of flesh. So does it make sense now that the investors of GameStop don't give a fuck about these people? And they go, all right, before you were trying to kill me of thirst, and now that you want my glasses of water shares, all right, be ready to pay for them. That is all that is happening. There's nothing underhanded. There's nothing illegal about buying shares and holding them. This is not like creating manipulations with options and shorts and weird trades. This is like playing a football game and you just run the ball every time. And the defense was like, all right, cool, we'll let them get 3 yards each time. The part that's crazy about this is these retail investors are like, all right, we're just always going to go for it on 4th down each and every time. And eventually we're going to get a touchdown. And you guys aren't going to be able to do anything about it because your system has been flawed. And we discovered this flaw and exploited it. All right, fellas, that's my little rant. I just am upset that the little guy is getting shit on when really this is a mistake of the big guy. All the best. Best wishes. Good morning. Cheers.